Speaking of Bionicle, since you mentioned it, I finally listened to the Geekvolution Wonder Woman 1984 discussion.
Hey, how'd that go?
And I'm pretty sure Connor brought up Bionicle Mask of Light during that discussion. I was like,
Oh
what the
boy,
what?
I don't remember that.
He's like, I'm sure you guys don't know about this movie, but and I was like, oh hey.
What was he now? What was he in now? Or comparing and contrasting with that exactly?
I don't even remember. I listened to
Okay.
it sometime last week,
Yeah, I don't remember that.
but yeah, I kept meaning to bring it up to you, and I just kept forgetting.
Might have been. Yeah, it might have been earlier. Or I just missed it completely, or did freak out over it. It was Christmas Day when I watched it, or maybe Boxing Day. I don't remember. Um,
Yeah, it was very late in the. It was like near the tail end in the 2 hour plus discussion. So
okay, maybe I'm pretty sure I was there till the end. I could be wrong on that. Again, I was the only person in chat that seemed to have liked the film initially.
that's fair. Yeah, it definitely seemed like the chat was super anti that movie. Oh wait, I have one more.
Yeah, they were not impressed with that movie. I'll say that. Um,
That's true.
wow, though, yeah. So, going to that actually, if you don't mind, what did you think? Well, again, like I know we discussed that briefly in oh, was it the what was my last pick?
Oh, Disciples of Shaolin,
Disciples of Shaolin. Thank you.
or 36 Chambers or something.
Yeah. To go back to what you were saying about how you wished it was a pilot, or you'd want to see it as a comic book series. That's literally what the George Perez one run was.
Oh,
That is literally like why I love the movie, because it was an adaptation of the George Perez run from the 80s, from after Crisis on Infinite Earth. So like, but Wonder Woman basically 86. I don't know why they didn't call it that.
well, so even like the monkey's paw like kind of plot that was all in there.
Did I like it?
Oh no, I mean in the comic.
Oh no, it wasn't that. That wasn't it.
Oh,
Um, George Perez's run actually, like Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman takes a lot from that as well, and then this 84 took lots of stuff from the book also by being set in the 80s,
oh,
and
okay.
also having having Cheetah in there, but she's different though.
Yeah,
Obviously, she doesn't occur that way. But again, the ending of 84 is why I liked it a lot, because it basically was the ending of the book, or at least the volume that I read of George Perez, and what I wanted from, like, literally that ending, but it's Ares instead in the book.
Oh, do you mean of like him being like taking over everything, and Wonder Woman has to kind of like talk him down and make the right choice, or what do you mean?
Sort of. So, spoilers for, even though I'd like to do a book review of this at some point. Um, Ares in Wonder Woman Volume 1 of George Perez's run. Basically, he has caused the USSR and America to almost preemptively launch each of the other's nukes. And it's ultimate destruction, obviously, and Wonder Woman is trying to. She can't fight him literally because he's the god of war and he's plotted this for ages, and he is seemingly about to win. Now, you could argue this is a Deus Ex Machina, but I don't think it is. First off, they're gods, so it doesn't count. It's literally a god thing, but I think George Perez knows what a Deus Ex Machina is and makes sure that even the gods are unable to like stop him. So it's fine. She uses the lasso of truth. She uses the lasso of truth around Ares and basically shows him the truth of what his actions will cause. And upon all detonation of the nukes that both sides have, means total destruction and annihilation of humans, and thus, because gods in this version rely on human worship, there's no humans to worship, and air quotes, there's no humans to create war or conflict, which is how Ares himself is empowered. And thus, when there's no humans or conflict around, Thus, Ares himself will cease to exist.
Hmm.
And in that moment, he realizes, oh crap, you win. And then kind of averts everything. Which you could say is a Deus Ex Machina, but no, because there was a logical reason why that happened. And that's why I have a big issue with 84, or not 84, with the first movie. And I technically should have it with the second movie as well, with 84, but I don't. But I will say I guess my opinion has waned over the other side, switched with the whole sleeping with unconsensually scene.
Yeah, I mean that's certainly definitely a problem.
Yeah.
But
What do you think of, though, how I described the book?
no, that sounds super cool.
Yeah, you can see why I was like disappointed with the first movie, and I was like, so far, like I really, instead of that freaking action scene we got it, and I know why they have to have it, I still would have loved the book. The book was superior to that, and I wish they could have done it, but they did not.
Yeah. That was always the weakest part of that movie. Yeah, it just evolves into
It certainly was.
action BS. Felt like an MCU movie.
Like they literally just transplanted all of Ares' plot from George Perez's Volume 1 into Wonder Woman 1917. I'm just gonna call it 1917 or whatever it was, because that's pretty much, or 1918. That's when it takes place. So it just makes more sense.
No, it doesn't take place during World War II, so 30s.
Wait, Wonder Woman,
The first one?
like the first, like 2017?
Yeah, doesn't that one take place during World War II?
No, it's World War One.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I haven't seen it since the theaters. So, I mean, I thought it was World War II.
I guess I've seen it like more than you have.
I thought that Ares was working with the Nazis, but I guess not. It's been so long.
Well,
Yeah.
he's working with the Germans, but they're not the Nazis by that point.
Sure. Oh, you've seen him. You've gone back to it a bunch.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, nice.
I've warmed up to it more. Like, it's actually, all the scenes beforehand are still good.
Yeah. See, I just had such a non-impression when I saw it in the theater. I was like, it was fine for the most part until the end.
Give it
Right.
another watch. Please give it another watch.
Sure. I was gonna even watch it before I watched the sequel, but then I realized I just didn't care enough.
That's true. That's fair. But honestly, give it another watch. Like, I'm not saying like change your mind or anything like that. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe something will happen.
No, yeah. And when I was watching the sequel, I even felt inspired because I was like, the first one's got to be better than this. Like, was I missing something the first time? Like, is this in the same tone? Because I thought the sequel kind of felt like a cartoon in some ways. And I couldn't remember if the first one felt like that.
It's been a while since December since I watched the Geekvolution spoiler cast of that movie. But anything you want to bring up or agree with DJ or Connor or Cap on or not, yay or nay? Probably not.
They were saying all the things that I was already feeling.
Yeah, that's fair.
Except for Connor. Because Connor liked it. So he was saying some
Oh,
things
did he?
that I thought were... Yeah, he did.
Oh, I thought Cap was the one that liked it.
Yeah, Connor came in originally like, I really like this. This is my second favorite DC film. In the new DC movies, I should say.
Yeah, no, in the new DC canon.
Although he did mention that he's only seen one of the Superman movies, so I might have missed some of the older stuff.
Okay, like, come on, let's be honest here. You have to see all those before you be like, that's my favorite. Sorry, that's my favorite.
But yeah, Cap and DJ came in pretty, like, it's crappy, but Cap turned around.
Oh no, it's... Was this the Man of Steel comment or spoiler cast all over again? No, not even. Sorry, not Man of Steel. Batman BVS.
No, I actually misremembered. Cap was he said that he watched it twice.
That's right.
And so he would talk about his two varying opinions, and originally he disliked it, and yeah.
Yes, and the second time he actually liked it more, at least.
Yeah. And that made me interested to revisit it one day.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, part of the reason I didn't like it so much was it was such a shock. Because I was like, holy crap, like, I mean, it's been a while, but I do not remember the first film feeling like this. So.
I mean, for the movie itself, will we ever do a commentary or review of it? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
I don't have any idea of it now. It's not in my head.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure we'll do all the DC movies.
No, probably, but as of now, I have no strong feelings towards doing it. That doesn't mean I don't want to. I just literally have no opinion of doing so. But I don't know. Initially, I found it was interesting they went with a smaller cast. I was like, okay, so it's the whole like sequel idea of instead of doing something bigger, you go smaller. It's like okay, let's see where this goes. They got like they got they got Wonder Woman, they got Cheetah, I forget her name, Barbara, and they have Maxwell Lord. The first thing I couldn't help think of is the famous thing with between Maxwell Lord and Wonder Woman is that during was it Countdown? I think that or was it 52? It was either of them. Wonder Woman snaps Maxwell Lord's neck
Damn.
because he's mind controlling the whole world. Um, oh, and he killed Blue Beetle, Ted Cord, excuse me, as well. So it wasn't unwarranted, but like that was the big thing. So I guess if you're going into this movie, you hear Maxwell Lord, it's like, and then in Wonder Woman, it's like, oh, he's getting his neck snapped. It's a shock to find that he actually survives in the very end.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that, so I never had that reaction.
Yeah, I didn't have that reaction, so that's a humorous thing. I guess I asked this during Disciples of Shaolin. I'll ask again. What'd you think of Kristen's wig as Barbara, aka Cheetah?
That was one of the most disappointing parts of the movie, I thought,
Okay.
because like I actually thought their friendship was kind of nice. I mean, Diana, I just thought was a weird non-character for a lot of the movie. I thought,
I can see that.
like, I never really quite understood what she was feeling or what her motivation was in a bunch of parts.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I really thought that he was sweet, even though he was kind of again like a Joel Schumacher character, where she's like this kind of pathetic, kind of weird person
Oh,
who
yeah.
turns to the villain. But I thought their friendship felt genuine until when she just like stops being herself because the whole yeah I don't know, maybe I'm forgetting some of the ending, but she just started to feel like not the same character at a certain point, and like maybe
I think that was the point, though. They were
but
trying
I
to
was
go
gonna
with.
say maybe like not mind control exactly, but like she started to go crazy or something.
She enjoyed the power, basically the wish fulfillment, and didn't want it to go away. So that was the whole idea that created the rift, is that Wonder Woman wants to stop the wish fulfilling by Maxwell Lord, and Barbara's like, yeah, not happening, because I enjoy this power that I have. Instead of being a timid woman, I enjoy being this beast instead. So I'm not going to let you say. So that's where like
Oh yeah.
that's where their anonymity towards each other occurred, or
Yeah, you
conflict,
saying
excuse
it
me, came here.
you saying it that way makes it more clear, because when she said like I want to be like an apex predator,
Yeah,
I was like, where's this line coming from? Like, this feels out of place. But no, I guess that makes sense.
no, literally, it's supposed to be very simple conflict of like both characters want something, and so but they want the opposite of each other. So that's where the conflict comes from. That's the idea.
Yeah, but I also at the end thought the whole like everyone renouncing their wish thing just felt a little too Fantasyland kind of happy.
Yeah, no, I see your point. It felt a little too goofy and gimmicky.
Yeah, like I think they even brought it up, the Geekvolution crew,
Yes.
when there was like someone who like died, someone I wished you like dropped dead.
Yep, I remember that scene.
Like, did they just come back to life? Like,
I assume so. I have to assume so. I remember they argued heavily that the president in that movie, like the American president, was not Reagan. But I'm like,
yeah.
he looks like Reagan. Like he clearly not fully looks like Reagan, like an absolute resemblance, like a duplicate. But like he honestly looks like he's playing Reagan. So it's like, why can't you just have him be? I mean, if he has to be unnamed, fair enough. But like X-Men, Days of Future Past got away with it. Why can't
Oh
you guys
yeah.
just like man up or woman up and own it?
Yeah, I remember wondering that too at the time, but then I was like, no, he doesn't even seem like he's trying to be Reagan, so he must not be.
Yeah,
So
that's fair. I'll just say that. That's fair. That's my piece on it. Anything else on that? Again, not too much. Just general overview. Wonder Woman is Batman and Superman combined. where she has like a communications center almost with like tapping into certain CCTV cameras around, monitoring the city for stuff, even though she's in the broad daylight being Wonder Woman, stopping criminals and whatnot.
Wasn't that a thing? I think the Geekvolution crew again mentioned this, where they're like in Justice League, she was supposed to be like in hiding since that World War I, and then the '80s apparently she's just like going around her regular outfit.
But you see, the thing is, this is retroactive
Yeah, exactly.
because, of course, Justice League is set in the modern day and made in 2017, and this movie was made in 2019 probably, and released in 2020. Supposed to be, was, um, and so for you see, they don't care. Or Patty Jenkins probably did not enjoy Justice League, or at least he must not be named Justice League, and therefore did not care. I was like playing fast and loose with the continuity. What's that?
Yeah. Well, or Gal Gadot, maybe she wanted to move away from it too. I don't know if you know about her complaints against Joss Whedon, but
Oh, we got some more juice. What's the tea, sir? Spill it all. And boil and leave burns on my knees.
it's real old. She was
No,
just
fair
saying that
enough.
Joss Whedon threatened her career because she was like, I don't think that my character would say this line. I don't think this scene really makes sense for my character progression. And Joss Whedon was basically like, just say my fucking lines. He was like just criticizing her performance and saying that she was like a nobody or something. I was like, oh, was he like drunk on the set, like berating everybody? Just cutting in here from the editing bay. I'm just cutting off this discussion here because from the rest of this little bonus episode, we just start going off about Joss Whedon's career and his treatment of actors throughout his multiple facets of his career. So, not really Wonder Woman related. And I'll just say, if anyone's curious where this conversation came from, I'll include a link down in the description. But on our regular podcast feed, not the YouTube feed, we do a series of bonus episodes when we just cover random topics, movies, comics, video games, books that we read. So that one's just kind of a general kind of catch-all series of discussions. So yeah, if you're interested in hearing the rest of it, I'll include a link down in the description. This one in particular spends a lot of time talking about video games. But just to add a little bit of extra value to this little brief discussion of Wonder Woman 1984, we mentioned in this episode that it came up on a discussion for a different film, Return to the 36 Chambers of Shaolin. I'm also going to include the little segment where we kind of derailed from the movie for a little bit to talk about that. Just because we did go on for a little bit talking about the movie, and some of our thoughts here kind of bleed in from that discussion. So I figure I'll include that in there. And I'll also include a link to our Return to Shaolin commentary if anyone's interested in listening to that, again on the regular podcast feed. But thanks for listening. Let us know if you enjoyed this kind of stuff, and maybe I'll go back and clip out some more discussions of DC content from our bonus episodes. I know there's a lot buried in there. So yeah, hope you enjoy it.
Let's go over that quickly. What did you think of that one?
It felt like a weird cartoon, and I thought the concept would have made a cool 4-issue comic, but was kind of weird for a 2.5 hour long movie.
What did you think of the Mandalorian?
I liked him. He felt again kind of cartoonish, but it fit the tone of the movie, so I can't. It honestly kept making me think, like, was Patty Jenkins trying to make a Joel Schumacher Wonder Woman movie?
You literally have to go watch the Geekvolution spoiler cast of '84. It was hilarious.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm gonna. Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet, so
That was literally what everybody was saying because everybody hated the film in that spoiler cast.
interesting.
Yeah, who they had? They had Connor on there and they had DJ as well.
Oh, cool.
But the other thing they really talked about mostly was the violation scene.
Violation scene.
Basically, the fact that
Oh,
Steve Trevor is in that guy's body, and then her and Wonder Woman make love basically, and they're like, "Isn't this a violation?"
yeah, it's so fucked up. They don't even bring it up, really. They're like, oh, you're possessing this guy. He seems like a nice guy. It's like, oh, you don't even think about the fact that you're like stealing his life.
Yeah, I didn't even like think of that either. I was just like watching the movie and
Oh,
never thought of that.
Yeah, me and Brianna kept commenting like, are they ever going to mention this? Because we just watched a movie called oh shit, was it what was it called? It was like this movie where every day someone wakes up in a different body,
Oh, interesting.
and they've got like all these rules about what they have to do to like be respectful, so they don't ruin the person's life.
Okay.
And so that was very much in our minds when we were watching it. We were like, oh fuck, like Steve Trevor doesn't care at all about this person's life.
Or at least, as far as I'm aware, well, one of the things that they brought up in that spoiler cast is that there's an article or interview somewhere. Again, I'm probably wrong on this. Of Patty Jenkins saying she wanted to make an '80s movie, like an actual like in the style of the '80s movie, not so much. Oh, it's a throwback to the '80s. No, she's making an '80s movie in the 2010s, or at least in this case, the new 20s or 220s. Excuse me,
Hmm.
if that makes sense. So it's got all the sensibilities of like, okay, don't think about that.
Well, yeah, I don't know how well that worked, but the movie, by the way, was called Every Day.
Every day. Okay, thank you. Everybody go watch that movie.
Yeah, it's okay.
But yeah, I didn't. I'm probably wrong on that. I enjoyed it the first time through, but I guess I just didn't. I turned my brain off and didn't think about anything.
Mm. Yeah, I also thought all the performances were weird, but I guess we're derailing from this movie here. But
This is true.